Hey guys, Kyle the Death End of Anime here, bringing you my review for Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin Season 2, Episode 8. And right off the bat, I want to, for the most part, this episode was was kind of an aftermath episode, just showcasing all the all the thoughts and feelings about uh, uh, about about what's happened after the whole battle between Eren and the armored and the armored and the armored and the colossal titans. Spoilers: Eren and Ymir end up getting kidnapped. Of course, spoilers: Eren and Ymir are kidnapped at this point. So yeah, they have been kidnapped, and I guess that brings up one little problem I had is that I think the pacing could have been maybe just a little bit better in this episode, but it still did have some great moments, honestly, in this episode. Like this episode was not was pretty much not really short of any great moments, honestly. To start off with, I want to go from the beginning, where we see basically all three of the military groups, the Scouts, the Garrison Regiment, and the military police. Yes, even the fucking military police working together, which is interesting because it's a stark contrast to how things were before in season one, where all of them were just kind of doing their own thing. The Scouts were, of course, the main force going out there to fight Titans. The Garrison Regiment, that they weren't really lazy, that they were just kind of doing they're just doing the whole they're just doing the bare minimum, that they were just doing their jobs and doing that and the story. They weren't really doing anything beyond what they were really ordered to do. At least not until I don't at least well at least but even before Pixis showed up. But I think after Pixis showed up, that things did start to get better. So yeah, there's that. And of course, the military police for the longest fucking time were just sitting on their asses, getting drunk and abusing their power. So it is interesting to know that these three groups are now working together, which is an interesting contrast in many respects, and I like it, honestly. Um, Another thing to note for sure is that in this, okay, another thing is that flashback where it was a good flashback. It was showcasing what things like were before, and I'll get to Hannes' viewpoint on that in a bit, but I just want to say that those bullies who kept picking on Armin and Eren and Mikasa, those three bullies are fucktards. I'm sorry, but they were like I know they're just minor characters that only appear like every now and again, that aren't major characters, but those bullies themselves are fucktards. Okay, they just have no I mean, I want to say that they do what they do because that they themselves are afraid. Like most bullies, of course, are just are at the core of who they are just scared. But honestly, like you'd think that they would learn to talk to someone or trust someone and share their feelings about how they feel about this whole situation. Because honestly, they're just acting like a bunch of little idiots. Like they're just picking on Eren and Armin just because at the core of it. They're just picking on Eren and Armin because they just kind of feel like it, and they have no comprehension of. It's like they have no understanding, or at least no sympathy for basically the whole situation. And yeah, I'm just glad. It honestly puts them a little more introspect on why Eren and Armin even fight. Eren, Armin, and Mikasa even fight those bullies. But yeah. Um, Also, another thing, I love Armin's development in this episode. He was the one, like, when Mikasa woke up, she was getting frantic and wanting to say, let's go after Eren now. Let's go after him now." And Armin, through it all, was the one who was remaining calm, and he was almost forcing Mikasa to accept the whole reality of the situation. That as of right now, they were they were ill equipped to even go after Eren because as well, like we like to think that for a lot of the times that Mikasa is a god amongst Eren and Levi, are gods among soldiers, that they can take down, that they can do anything at all. And while I will admit that they are excellent and badass soldiers, they still are at the core human, and they have their and they have their limitations. So because of that, if if Mikasa went out there now without any gear or any horses or whatnot, she pretty much would have died. at the hands of a Titan. I'm almost certain of that. So yeah, it was great on Armin to kind of just tell me because of how it is, but and and then of course at that point it's at that point where Hannes comes in, and I was really digging his motivational speech, but at the same time I have a feeling that Hannes himself is gonna with that whole motivational speech thing he was giving. I can't lie. I think Hannes has his death flag on him. I think there's no avoiding that. Hannes, that whole motivational speech of him wanting to go back, wanting him to go back to the days of him being a lazy drunken soldier and whatnot. I totally I totally want it to happen, but at the same time, yeah, I get the feeling that there's a bit of a death flag on him for that one. Um, but as far as the contents of the speech itself, I really think that there is there's a lot of truth in what he says, because here's the thing: as much as Eren hates it or not, there's a lot of truth. As much as Eren may hate Hannes for what he says, I think there's a lot of truth in what he says too, because I think half the time Eren kind of I of course there is the whole thing with wanting to get to the basement and whatnot, but I get the feeling that Eren is just too wrapped up in his whole goal of trying to eliminate all the Titans and whatnot, that he forgets that at the core of it, it's all being done for something done for the simple reason of protecting and saving humanity. But I think I think he gets a little too wrapped up in his own revenge for it to really even for him to really be completely affected by any, that he completely loses himself and forgets about everything around him. Honestly, so yeah, that speech was both good. It was both good in the sense where it showcased that maybe Eren might need to have a bit more of a broader and wider view on the way he's approaching things, but hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen at this point. Well, like I said, I definitely do know that Hannes himself does have a death flag on him. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he died after this episode, or a couple episodes after. Another thing is Connie. Okay, I kind of ragged him in the last episode, but I need to reinstate it again. Connie, I cannot take you seriously anymore. Like, okay, again, I said in the last episode that Connie couldn't put two and two together. Well, apparently in this episode, from what I understand, someone actually finally brought Connie up to speed and told them, hey, yeah, Reiner and Bertoldi, yeah, they're actually the Colossal and the Armored Titan. And I was like, and he said he wanted to have a nice long chat with them. He wanted to have a nice, and he said he wanted to have a nice long chat with them, and he wanted to ask them a question. Well, Connie, I have a question for you. Why the fuck are you so damn stupid? Seriously, you're a fucking you're a fucking dumbass if someone actually had to tell you that shit. Like, again, I know it was established that he is destined to be that he not only set up early on that he isn't the brightest bulb, but seriously, give the guy a little bit of fucking credit in the brains department. Help get him to just make him have a smart moment, please. But yeah, I won't I won't rag on him for much longer. But aside from that, the last moment in this episode, that's the last thing I want to talk about. The last moment in this episode where Eren was waking up. That was fucking such a tease, and I have a feeling we're headed for a lot of exposition in the next chapter from Reiner and Bertold, because the more we get into these two characters, the more it seems to be kind of doing a lot more world building, and I get the feeling a lot of what they're about to say is kind of just build up a lot of this whole world that they're in, and yeah, this whole world that they're in. But yeah, I was feeling like that episode, last scene was such a tease that I want more now. But let's attack on Titan in general. But yeah, guys, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of MMA, signing off. Later, guys.